Welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio with a couple more completed commissions. Today we have two Adeptus Custodes converted shield captains on Dawneagle Jetbike. And this is sort of like our relic style of the Jetbike. These are two separate commissions, obviously done in two separate paint jobs of a similar or, alternate version of the same model. So they were completed together. Figured we'd go ahead and just show them off in a single video as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, and pretty much any other tabletop gaming content as well. We are obviously a commission-based studio, so we do show off the commissions as they leave the studio. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at these shield captains. So a couple of the important points on these. One, the bases / flight stands are drilled out and magnetized for easy transport, as you can see. And then also the sort of like spear arm as well. So that can be kind of posed or removed again. Those are the typical breaking points with these models. A lot of times the flight stand will break off inside the model and then you'll have to figure out how you're going to fix it or re-glue it, and it's just never quite the same. So we just avoid that problem right from the start. And same thing with the spear arm. Those typically break in transport or during game, so it's much easier to go ahead and just magnetize those and then not worry about it. We also leave the missiles and bolters separately. It is possible to swap them out in the model. It's very difficult, honestly, though, to swap them out, as once they go in there, they're in there pretty solid. But you can remove them and swap them out. But we do like to provide those for the client so they can choose what they want. So that being said, let's take a closer look. All right, so here we have the first of our Dawneagle jet bikes. So this one is done with your typical gold and silver paint scheme. And then we have done the cloth and the helmet plume in sort of like a light blue, almost a sort of like an ice white color. And then obviously the spear tip is done in sort of a darker blue, but giving that energy effect to it. And then of course we did all the little gems in a green color as well. So, and these are conversions. So the key part of these conversions that we do is we add the wings onto the sides of the bike, sort of like hand protectors. Imagine like a old school knight jousting. And then of course the shield on the front to signify that he is the shield captain. So typically these were done originally for the relic jet bike, but now we just do them in general for shield captains just to make them a little more eccentric or stand out on the tabletop. And then obviously we add in the cape as well. So we do two different styles of cape. There's like your standard custodian guard style cape, and then also the ones off the Alaris Terminators. Both have a cool look to them. Both have a unique look to them. And then if you're just kind of looking around here, we start off with our Retributor Armour, and then obviously do some Reikland Flesh Shade wash, and then come back in with some lighter gold highlights. And then for the silver, we start with our Leadbelcher, and then again do a Nuln Oil wash on that, and then come back in with our lighter highlights as well. And then you'll see like the little computer screen and his little screen on his arm as well. For those, we use a combination of the Citadel effects paints, the Tesseract glow, and then we sort of darken up a couple areas, lighten up a couple areas, and then put our little white dot to give that final look to it. And these are very nice looking models. Obviously, really enjoy doing this conversion and then all the different paint schemes available. Obviously, these are very popular, as not only are the Custodes great in gameplay, but they look super cool as well. And then anytime we're doing a conversion, something to make your model or army stand out, people really enjoy them, because they can basically have a nicely painted army that they did themselves, and then they can have a sort of like shield captain or character that really stands out above the rest. So, sometimes people, or often people, will order just one of these shield captains, not necessarily like an entire army. And then for the actual spear itself, the important thing on the spear tip is the darkness of the contrast. Obviously have very dark, almost black blue color in there. And then we have in places all the way up to like a bright, almost complete white. And then it's the contrast between them, the kind of overall energy glow effect. And obviously turns out really nice. This one was done with the helmet on, and you can see the eyes and the like glow of all the little different gems. Very, very cool. Definitely a big fan of this model in general, this conversion, etc. And then for the actual like cloth and our little plume and everything, we have that super white. Basically start off with a white color, use a special blend of contrast paints to kind of give that blue, and then we come back through and do a couple layers of highlights with the white, kind of do like a little wet blend back to it. So it definitely has that like icy kind of cool vibe to it. One of my favorite color schemes. I really like how the contrast between the brightness and the cool of the blue goes with like sort of the warmth of the gold. And then again, we have our ruin temple style bases, which are our citadel ruins, basically like all cut up and broken apart. Add some sand in there. And then of course we have the skulls as well. And I've done quite a few videos showing exactly how we do those bases. So if you are interested in something like that, if you have not seen those videos, highly recommend that you check it out. So let's take a look at our other not so golden boy. So here we have our second shield captain. So the main difference between this one is this is our standard white color scheme. So we use the gold and the silver still and the same techniques for a lot of like the accents and details, but the actual armor itself is done in white. And the way we do that is start off with a white primer and base, and then from there we use our Apothecary white contrast paint, and then we do edge highlights in white as well to bring it up to like this really nice kind of like gray to white tone. And then obviously that makes all of the golds and silvers really stand out and doesn't give you like that monotony of just a completely gold model with a couple silver highlights, etc. And then for this, we use a non-diluted version of the Citadel contrast paint. This one is the Talassar blue, and we do that in a couple of layers to give it the layer from like the really dark blue down in the crevices or down in the shadows up to like that kind of brighter blue is just a single coat. And then again, we can see all the little screens and everything glowing. This one obviously is the helmetless version. So we do the flesh with like a guilliman flesh and then some various little highlights. We have a couple different shades of brown on the two models. This one uses the snakebite leather brown contrast paint. The other one uses just a rhinox hide, a little darker. Again, the important thing is for the other one, we need a really dark brown so it doesn't just look kind of brown compared to the gold and just all blend together. With this one, it's okay to use a lighter brown because it doesn't look the same as the gold, but also it stands out so much more from like the blue and the armor and everything. And that's what it's really all about, is like the contrast and differentiation between the colors. And then in the case of this spear here, again, we have like a really, really dark green and then a complete white and then just a sort of transition between those colors to give the effect of the energy on the spear kind of glowing. Overall, again, some of my favorite models. Love the actual conversion. These came out wonderfully. We've done quite a few of them in these color schemes and styles, as well as more traditional styles. I've done a bunch of Shadow Keepers. These bikes are obviously very, very popular. They're very strong in the overall meta. So, people do enjoy to take them. Also, Custodes are a very popular army just because the model count is a little lower. So you don't need to have 100 models. They're easier to travel with because you can have a small case of them, and that's an entire 2,000 point army. You have low model count, so for tournaments, it's not as exhausting keeping track of like 100 models. And then obviously they are very strong as well. They have great saves and do quite a bit of damage. They are really like a jack of all trades. Very fun, very enjoyable army. One of my personal favorites. I still remember when these were just artwork and there were no models. And, they have really captured the essence of the old artwork and lore in these guys because they are just absolutely phenomenal. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you have any questions or anything like that about the style or how we achieve these effects, we do always show off all the paints used in the commissions, the orders, the steps. I have done videos on how to convert your own shield captain like this, how to make the ruined temple style bases, how to do the magnetizations, and pretty much anything else you can imagine. So if you haven't checked out any of the how-to videos, highly recommend you go through and take a look because there's all kinds of cool stuff on there. Definitely using magnets more than probably anyone else in existence on their little minis. And then of course, all kinds of contrast paints, airbrush, and blend between more traditional painting styles as well. and then obviously we show off how to make like the cool bases and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there though. So let me know what you think down below. Which of these color schemes is your favorite? I do prefer one of the more traditional color schemes to these two. I always like to hear from you guys. I appreciate all the kind words. And we have just been growing this channel like absolutely a madman lately. I really appreciate all of the new subscribers, all the people that regularly interact. And if you are just watching and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do that. It's a free way for you to support the channel and help us grow. And also, if you are just watching silently, feel free to interact as well. I do get back to just about everyone that messaged me in the comments. I appreciate all the kind words, all the positivity, and I do love this hobby. I love the community and really enjoy interacting with you guys and girls. So please do comment down below. Let me know what you think. And obviously, we do release at least one video every single day, so you can count on the reliability, if nothing else. That being said, if you do enjoy Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and Warcry content as well, little Horus Heresy, some D&D, some Underworlds, pretty much anything to do with tabletop gaming, everything from reactions, reviews, unboxings, to painting, modeling, magnetization, tutorials. This is definitely the place for you. I'd be glad to have you in the community. To all the new community members, thank you very much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. That being said, and of course, all of the people that commission. The commission studio is how we pay the bills, and I absolutely love the amount of business we have. We stay very busy. We have many, many returning clients, and I do appreciate each and every one of you because you allow us to make all of this possible. That being said, I am Warhammer Man. This is Warhammer Man Studios, and I'm out of here.